Hello everybody, let's understand the essay The Gandhian Outlook by S. Radhakrishnan. Gandhiji was essentially a religious man. A religious man, when he is authentically religious, rises above all the particular group loyalties and becomes a universal man. S. Radhakrishnan says that Mahatma Gandhi was a religious man in real sense because authenticity of his religion was that he rises above all the particular group loyalties because he was above everything, above all religions, and he used to believe in all religions, and that's why we can say him that he was a universal man. The great point about Gandhiji is that he realized in practice the theoretical implications of religions that have been with us from the beginning of religions. As Radhakrishnan says that Mahatma Gandhi knew the theoretical implication of religions and in practice he realized it, and that was the great thing on part of Mahatma Gandhi. Hindus talk about Abhya and Ahimsa, fearlessness and love. Buddhists talk about wisdom and love or compassion, Pragya and Karuna. Christians talk about truth and freedom. Muslims speak to us of one God and one family on earth. This way Mahatma Gandhi had great faith in all the religions of the world, may it be of Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, and he read them all and he believed in them all, and he said that there is one message of all these religions, that we should believe in humanity. But what distinguishes a prophetic nature like Gandhiji is the seriousness with which he implements these ideals and lives for them. Mahatma Gandhi used to believe the ideals of all these religions that we have talked about, and he lived his life according to those religions because ultimate message of all those religions was the same. We talk about them. The knowledge is in us, but not the deed which answers to the knowledge. He used to say that we are talking about other religions and we have complete knowledge, but we are not doing our actions, our deed according to the knowledge. So far as Gandhiji is concerned, his greatest contribution is to make us understand that even in this world of narrow loyalties and artifices, it is possible for us to incarnate these great ideals of truth and love. Mahatma Gandhi used to believe the great ideals of truth and love can be well implemented in our narrow loyalties, in our artificial, man-made structures, thinking, and we should make others understand, and that would be our great contribution towards humanity. Whenever he had to do a particular action, take up some line of conduct, he questioned himself. He fasted, he prayed, and he ransacked his brains till at last he was able to say, this is the line of conduct on which to proceed. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that whenever we have any question, then we should first change our conduct. We should work upon it. We should question ourselves. We should observe fast. We should pray. We should explore our brains. And then we would be able to say, yes, what should be done and how it should be done. In that sense, as a religious man, he was essentially a universal man, an internationalist. This way we can say Mahatma Gandhi was far above any nationalist. He was internationalist because he was talking of universality, rising above any particular religion. He took up the cause of India to demonstrate to the world that the weapons which he was employing in the smaller compass could be extended to the whole world. Mahatma Gandhi had great faith in his ideals of truth and love, and he said, the way I am trying to demonstrate in India, the same way it can be demonstrated or extended to the whole world. If I am able to establish the validity of non-violence in India, it could as well be applied to the whole world. He used to say the non-violence formula which I have been applying and which I am showing that it is valid, it is very good, it can be established. If it can be established in India, it can be established in the whole world also. That is how he argued. He argued that political freedom could be won by non-violent methods. If he wanted to achieve anything, any political freedom or any other thing, and he used to give the argument that that can be achieved with non-violent methods. He wanted to demonstrate to the world that the method sanctified by history violence, deceit, and cunning was not the only way to achieve political objectives. Whichever the objectives, purpose, goals, targets we want to achieve, may it be political or others, they only cannot be achieved through violence, deceit, cheating, by being clever. We can achieve it with non-violent ways also. Winning of freedom by non-violent methods would be a lesson to the rest of the world. So he took up the Indian cause not out of any narrow patriotism. So we can't say that Mahatma Gandhi was talking or doing his actions in narrow patriotism sense. These methods of non-violence, truth, love were applicable for the world and they could be well implemented everywhere. Not only because he happened to belong to India, but because of his intense love for humanity, and in order to enable humanity to adopt a different outlook, a different attitude with regard to the problems which faced humanity. Mahatma Gandhi was more concerned for the humanity, not only to India, but complete humanity. He had love, intense love for the complete humanity. That's why he wanted to make them enable that they should have different outlook, and this way the world would be a better place to live in. In that sense, he was first and foremost an internationalist and only then a nationalist in its narrow sense. His nationalism was a means to internationalism. Mahatma Gandhi, whatever he was doing at national level, like following the ideals of non-violence, truth, love, it was meant for international level because he used to love the complete humanity, and that's why we can say that he was a real internationalist. His whole attitude was one of universalism. If we have conflict with Englishmen, let us not hate the Englishmen, because both Englishmen and Indians are offspring of the same divinity. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that we are all the children of offsprings of the same God, may it be the Englishmen, may it be the Indians. And in case we have any conflict, differences, then we should not hate each other. We should again must remember that we are all the children of the same God. If we happen to be estranged for a time, we must feel that even though we have differences, we are still all brothers. That would enable us to love the evildoer while hating the evil that was in his methods. He used to say that we should hate the evil, not the evildoer. Whatever is the wrong, we should not like the wrong things, but whosoever does the wrong things, we should not hate him. And we may have the differences everywhere, and still we are all brothers, and accordingly we should live also. Gandhiji's whole attitude was to understand the opponent, any particular kind of evil. In that way, he felt that all strife, even civil strife, could be more or less eliminated. He used to say that first of all, we should try to understand our enemy, our opponent, and if there is any evil, that evil we should try to explore, and if there is any strife, differences, we should try to know the reasons, and these all more or less can be eliminated, can be ended. It is the same attitude of love that made him feel that other religions are also to be regarded as valid as his own, and because of his such faith, he used to think and used to say that other religions are also equally good as his own. The belief that your religion is supreme and the talk of exclusive monopoly of truth seemed to him a kind of spiritual pride. He used to say that generally people think that their own religion is supreme, best, and they have the monopoly because their religion talks of truth and they have the exclusive right. And this is a sort of spiritual pride. This is the egoistic attitude which should be avoided. If he wanted us to be humble and to understand and respect other religions as he himself did, it was because his standpoint was that truth happens to be the essence of all religions. He used to say that truth is the essence, is the summary, it is the crux of all religions. That's why we should respect other religions, we should understand other religions, and he himself used to do the same thing. He wanted that everyone should practice this, both in mind and spirit, and he believed that one who is able to do it will reach the goal. He used to say that in mind and spirit means in true spirits, body and soul, we should practice the high ideals, ideals of non-violence, the ideals of truth, love, and he believed once we are able to do these things, certainly we will reach the goal. If the constitution of our country embodies that principle, it is largely due to Gandhiji's teaching. It is the expression of this sentiment of love and understanding for other peoples and creeds. In our constitution also, if such ideals, such principles are there, just it is because of the contribution of Mahatma Gandhi and his sentiments and his love and understanding for the peoples, means different countries and their castes, creeds, and this way for whole humanity. If we have today so much of uncertainty, so much of fear, so much of confusion, it is because of our goals are not clear. He used to say that if we have any confusion, fear, any problem, because our goals are not clear, we are not loving the complete humanity. We have not given to the human mind something to satisfy its hunger for truth, and something that creates universal brotherhood. He used to say that we are not working for truth and we are not working for universal brotherhood. That's why we are facing the problem. Gandhiji wished us to love and sympathize with other people. He did not want to divide them into minor compartments and say, you are Hindu, you are Muslim, you are Boer, you are South African. This way, he used to say that on the basis of South African, Boer, Hindu, Muslim, these are the minor, narrow thinking compartments, and we should not divide the people in such compartments. And he used to sympathize with everybody and he used to love to everybody. If we want to get real human unity in this world, we must take our religion more seriously. Our primary loyalty must be to the human race. He used to say that we should be concerned for the humanity, human race, and that should be our loyalty. We should not just only talk of our religion, because real message of our religion is that we should love the complete humanity. It is this sense of a common humanity that is lacking today. If we take the advanced nations of the last decade or two, he used to say that if we take the example of advanced nations of last decade, means last 10 years or 20 years, and what we observe that these nations are lacking common humanity. That is the primary thing required for these countries. We see abundance of natural resources, great intellectual penetration, wonderful scientific achievement, even great development of discipline and leadership. He used to say that we find many other things. If we talk of natural resources or intellectual things, wonderful scientific achievements or inventions, or if we talk of other developments, these are great, but we are not having the feeling for love for the humanity. These qualities are not enough. Something deeper, something more universal in appeal to man is necessary. He used to say that these achievements are not suffice, because something more, that is the love for humanity, universal thing that is required, and that is deeper thing that we need to understand. Unless we are able to train our young men and women in this sense of world citizenship and make them understand that national loyalties must be subordinate just as we today subordinate family loyalties to the nation, the world cannot escape disaster. He used to say that we should train our young men and women and we should teach them world citizenship. And he used to say that we should make them understand that our national loyalties are subordinate to the international loyalties, the same way as our family loyalties are subordinate to the national loyalties, and otherwise our world cannot escape the disaster, means it is doomed to fail. We talk of the United Nations. It is a symbol of this growing unity of the world order. It is unfortunately the scene of conflicts at the present moment, and he used to talk about that why we are talking of United Nations, because really there is some requirement of some unity at the world level, and that's what I am trying to convey. But it can still be saved for achieving through its medium the goal of the future world, the international society. If Gandhiji's philosophy and ideals could be adopted, if his ideals and philosophy would be adopted, then international society, means international level, internationalism, future world he was talking of, and that was possible through peace, that is through truth, love, non-violence. If Gandhiji had lived longer, he would have worked to build a world state of which the different nations are merely branches. And if he would have lived for some more years, then definitely he would have worked on that pattern. Means the whole world would have been one state and all the nations would have been working as branches only. He would have given to that world state a kind of executive authority, a kind of police force, not military power, but only a police force to maintain the normal civil life. If he would have lived longer, then definitely he would have worked for such authority. And he said that there should be no military, only the police force, and just to maintain the normal civil life. He visualized such a world state in which rivalries among nations will have been set aside, like rivalries between individuals of the same nation through the development of the nation state, as he was working upon that the whole world should be one nation and the rivalries between the nations should be like the rivalries between individuals, and the same way it will be resolved. If a happier world order has to be evolved for the good of the future generations, we must declare right here that we believe in universal brotherhood. He used to say that everybody should believe in the universal brotherhood, and that is required for our future generations, and that should be evolved, and then it will be the happier state. That we will respect one another, whether it be individuals or nations. That we will not apply two different methods of criticism, one to ourselves and a different one to others. He used to say that we should respect individuals and nations equally, and apart from it we should not have different approaches, one for ourselves and one for others. All that is necessary is to transform these theoretical beliefs of one family, one God, etc. into practical realities. I realize that we cannot overnight bring about this change. He used to say that it is necessary for us that the beliefs that we have, beliefs of one family, one God, we should turn into practical realities. Then it would be possible. And these things are not possible in overnight. But it is necessary to bring about, maybe slowly, this transformation of our society with goodwill and understanding amongst us, keeping in view always that the role of self-denial is the best medium for educating others. He used to say that it is necessary for us that we should bring out the transformation in the society, and this transformation should be with goodwill and good understanding. And he used to say that first of all we should self-denial, means first we should do the things ourselves, because actions speak louder than words, and that is the best medium for educating others. That's why he himself used to do these things in his real life also. Of course, if we go back to the prehistoric ages, we find each man followed his own dictates, and that he was the sole judge of what is right and what is wrong. And that's why he gives the example of prehistoric ages, and he says that we have seen how one dictates, and then first of all he is the sole judge, because whatever we are telling to others, first we should judge our actions ourselves and what is right or wrong. After judging it, and we put it in our actions, and others would follow later on. Gradually community life was evolved, and we have given ourselves the rule of law. There are law courts, the judges, and so on, by means of which wrong is sought to be redressed in the community. He used to say that after that there was the evolvement of the rule of law courts and judges, and because what is wrong, first we should see ourselves, and then it can be redressed in the community. Again, we have some individuals who place themselves above all these laws. The sannyasis, who have neither desires nor belongings, and who can go and sit in far off mountains. He gives the examples of sannyasis also, who are above these laws. They don't have any desires, they don't have any belongings, and they can go far off in the mountains, and this way they have different approach, and the same way we can learn a lot from them also. They need not bother about these national governments and world governments, but for ordinary people trying to be saintly and as yet not fully so. He gives the example of saints and he says that they are not worried for national governments or world governments. The same way, ordinary people also can do the same thing. They can also try to be saintly. We do require a world organization, a world police, a world court, a world bank, and so on. So far as nations are concerned, Mahatma Gandhi talks about our requirement. What nations require? They require on international level one world organization. And there would be world police, world court, world bank, and so on. Such organizations would work on world level. We have to put theories into practice and demilitarize ourselves and employ police only for purposes of maintaining internal order. Only for the sake of internal order we need police, not for military. And we have to demilitarize our system and we have to put these theories into practice, which would be time consuming also. All this is practicable if there are people who can make non-violence their creed. We have seen that military might offer no solution for our disputes. He used to believe and say that for our disputes, military is not the solution. Non-violence is the solution, and we have to set our belief in this way. Therefore, it becomes incumbent upon us to find out means by which solutions to the complex problems of the day can be offered on a more permanent basis. He wanted the permanent solution for our complex problems. And he wanted that solution should be found out, and he was insisting all the time. In this connection, I would only add that Gandhi was anxious. That means must be as pure as the end itself. S. Radhakrishnan says at the end of the essay that Mahatma Gandhi was worried, he was anxious. He wanted that our attitude, our approach must be as pure as the end results we want in our life, and then only it would be possible. Thank you.